Hey, Colleen, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you, Lauren?
Good. I'm so excited to have you here and to talk about Seller Spy. Kind of get a little closer look at it. Tell us about Seller Spy. Like, I know it's an SEO tool.
hmm
Tell us about where this came from, why it started, all that good stuff.
Well, it's kind of embarrassing how it started because really what happened is I had a TPT store and it was secondary to my main website selling the products I sell. And I realized after a while that I was missing like a huge keyword in most of my products. And as soon as I added it, I saw my sales like shoot up on TPT. And I was like, how did I miss this? And like, having a background in SEO, I was and like digital marketing, I was kind of like really embarrassed. So I started looking at to see if there were any tools for TPT. And obviously I fell on tons of different resources, your resources, and a lot of different podcasts and blogs. But I didn't find a one-stop shop tool. And that's kind of where I was like, it's kind of like scratch your own itch, where I decided to build it myself. And I put together a few different tools that I felt could be beneficial for people like me who are starting out in TPT, might not know or have like, that innate knowledge of how to craft a title or a description. So that's kind of how Seller Spy came about. And really, I wanted to help other sellers just get those first few sales in the door and really boost their confidence that they can make money on TPT. That's kind of how it started.
I love it. I love it. So I want you to show us Seller Spy, kind of walk us through it because it does a lot of different things. It has a lot of different features. And I figured, like, who better to showcase the product than the person who created it, right? So if you don't mind, share your screen with us and just kind of show us a little bit about this.
Great. So this is the page. You can go to the free keyword tool here or the dashboard once you sign up. The first page is really, if you're really new to creating products or posting on TPT, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure type of deal where you can, if you're looking to optimize a product, to kind of have a flow that you can go through, or if you're generating ideas for a new product, another flow that you can kind of do step by step, how to do this, how to make sure that your product is optimized as best as it can be for TPT. But I want to show you just like really three of like the top used tools in Seller Spy. The first is the keyword generator. And the best thing about this tool is that it's completely free to use. Anyone can use it. You come to sellerspy.co, you can click on the free keyword tool and it'll bring you here. It will give you limited information. You have to create an account to see all of it. But this is really the first step in most of my product creation or optimization. And it's like the TPT search bar, but on steroids. So one of the keywords I always use is like 10 frame. It'll generate keywords, not 5, but 10 based on whatever you put in here. And it'll also give you a relative popularity and the number of products with that keyword. And I have a fun little stoplight system over here, which will help you easily identify popular keywords that are also low competition. You can type in, so you can see all 10 keywords.
So ideally, we're looking
And
for two green lights. So we're looking for like 10 frames template or 10 frames
mhm.
worksheet. So that basically means that the green light under popularity would mean that people are searching for those keywords. So that's good. But then the green light under competition would mean that the competition is relatively low for that search term that people are searching for. Can you tell me a little bit about where this data comes from to say what the popularity is and what the competition, like,
I've been compiling a lot of this information over months. So it's really, how often it shows up in the TPT search bar. Number of products is really, what TPT is showing us in the search results and then how many exact matches there are. So it's really just an aggregate of a lot of the data that I have. And I think, you'll find that it's pretty accurate when comparing like phrases. So, and if you go to TPT right now and you search 10 frame, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the first 5 that will probably most likely show in your search bar. So that's kind of how it works. It's really aggregating a lot of data.
but it's pulling that data from like TPT's website.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely utilizing a lot of just the search results on TPT that you'll see.
Yeah, love that. And so this keyword insights, would this be like where from there, like I would go to the paid version? Is that kind of what that would look like?
Yep. So these are like quick links so you can dive in deeper. So let's say you find something that you like. So let's say 10 frame worksheet. Keyword Insights just takes it one step further and it gives you a little bit more of a view of what TPT is showing for that specific keyword. So Keyword Insights, you'll see I have a few boxes up here and then also Google search volume trend. So one of the things also when I started Seller Spy, a lot of the research was like, oh, well, to get like for good keyword research, you go to Uber Suggest, you go to the TPT search bar, you go to, keywords everywhere. And I was like, that's a lot of different places to go. I have worked in SEO for a while, so I know about all these tools, but especially for someone new to TPT and new to keyword research and SEO, that could be confusing. I want it to be a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where this page kind of came into play, where again, we're kind of looking at the number of listings for this keyword, the number of average ratings for every listing on the first page to get an idea of, okay, well, how well are these selling?
I like this because I think a lot of times, as a more seasoned seller, a more experienced seller, I can go to TPT and I feel like I can get a really good idea of those things pretty quickly by just looking at the search results. But I've found that in doing so many audits and working one-on-one with so many different sellers, that is a skill that just takes a lot of time to develop, specifically for your niche. And it's kind of discouraging in the very beginning to think like, okay, I'm going to try these keywords that I think might work, but oh my goodness, it's so popular. And how do I know if it's too popular? How do I know if it's too saturated? How do I know what keywords to add to this in order to further refine without going way off in left field and using keywords that no one's going to search for? So I love the fact that this is kind of a really quick and simple place to come and type root keywords in and get some really great suggestions.
Yep. And that's exactly, the whole goal is really to get those quick wins for new sellers and to get their feet wet and an understanding of how the SEO on TPT works. So this is the Keyword Insights page. And really what it does is it analyzes that first page of results on TPT for any keyword. So you'll see the total number of results that TPT is showing. And this is, exact match results. Plus, you have relative matches. So instead of 10 frame worksheet, it'll probably, we know that the results will also show 10 frames worksheet, 10 frame worksheets, those types of things. Just to explain why this number might not match exactly with the keyword generator number. But it also gives us an idea of popularity based on the number of ratings each of the items on the first page has. So we know that not everyone leaves a rating, but we can get a pretty good idea of whether things are selling or not based on how many ratings there are.
I was going to say, like on this average ratings, I think this is also really helpful for someone who's coming in and they have a product that does have some ratings. It's not just like a brand new product. I try to quickly, if I know that the average number of ratings is 157 ratings and I have 0 ratings on my product, probably just best to move on forward. But if maybe I have 100 ratings or 96 ratings or something like that, there is a chance that down towards the bottom, like I could rank towards the bottom on that first page. So I think that that's really helpful too, because I'm able to kind of see that information at a glance and try to figure out where my product would fit in on that first page of search results. All of that.
Definitely. Some of the other people have been looking like they'll see for a keyword that there are people ranking on the first page with no ratings, and they'll be like, oh, that's like, I think I can rank here. This might be, low hanging fruit. So it's definitely helpful to take a look at those ratings. And then for average price, sometimes you might see, okay, you might be, pricing your product outside of what the range of people on the first page, and you might help guide your pricing strategy as well. And then the last thing is just, the Google search volume trend is just pulling in those numbers to get an idea of how many people on Google are searching for it, and really kind of making Seller Spy a one-stop shop so you don't have to go to all those different tools like Uber Suggest and the TPT search bar and keywords everywhere and all those different tools. It's really trying to make it a one-stop shop for new sellers.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this. So I know this does a lot of other things because I'm seeing over on the side, like I'm seeing
Yes.
Keyword Explorer, Title Analyzer, Product Idea Generator, Image Reviewer, all of that good stuff. But show me something else. Is this like stop 3? Is Keyword Insights number 3, or is it is that number 2, or is that just kind of part of your keyword generator?
So Keyword Insights is pretty much like my second step when after the generator is really an additional step for validation. The tools that I have, a Keyword Explorer, because everyone's like, what's the difference between Keyword Explorer and generator? Really, the Explorer is in a complete aggregate of every single keyword in my database. So if I go in and let's put 10 frame in there again, you will see every possible keyword and I think we're at almost 21,000 keywords. So you'll be able to view it all. So, and it just keeps on getting bigger and bigger as I keep on adding. So this is like more of like a real dive in and kind of mine for those golden keywords or the double green
Yeah.
keywords. When I put this together, it was kind of like, grow your TPT store with low competition keywords. And then I realized, there's also like, it's the idea of growing it quickly and giving tools to speed up, the whole process. And that's kind of why I aggregated a lot of these tools. I'm kind of a dork and I really like all the AI stuff that's coming out. So a lot of the other tools are also AI tools to kind of help you speed up the process between an idea for a product and posting it on TPT. So that's where the product idea generator is. It's really for any keyword. I'll give you 5 unique product ideas. The description generator, I'll help you create a description that's engaging, that has a snippet that's SEO optimized. So these are just some of the other tools. But I think for kind of like the entry level SEO, someone who's trying to learn about SEO, I think these top tools are probably the best to start off with.
I love that. There was, and I don't know where specifically it was, but I remember when I used this tool a little while back, that whenever I searched for a specific set of keywords, I could see the cover images of the
Yes.
product on the first page. Can you go to that? Because I think
Sure.
that's really, really cool. And a lot of people don't think about that.
Yeah, it's funny. So, there's tons of great Facebook groups, and I try to give back as much as I can and provide feedback for new sellers. Always see people saying, can you give me feedback on this image, or what do you think of these 2 product images? And that sparked, my brain a little bit. And I was like, well, what if you could see all the images on just one page and you can see, okay, well, how are people designing them? What colors are they using? How big are the titles? So that's kind of where this tool kind of came about. I really just, aggregating those pictures you could see, and then just seeing, okay, well, which one, I have the ratings underneath, so you can see like which ones are resonating more with.
Yeah, I
Really,
love this because whenever I'm doing coaching, I see this a lot where sellers will have a certain aesthetic that they want to bring to the
mm-hmm,
table and they want it to really stand out. And I say, well, let's take a look at what's happening in your niche though. Like being able to see all on one page, which I mean, obviously we could go to the TPT search engine and we could scroll, right? We could still do that.
mm-hmm,
But I think the fact that we've got all of these things here in one spot where I can immediately say, okay, I'm going to go keyword insights. I'm going to pick those keywords. Now let me go look at the product image viewer, and I can kind of stay in one place and make all of my notes rather than have, whenever I do this in TPT, 20 different tabs open, and I can kind of make notes. Like obviously this resource over here, that very first spot that's showing up on your screen, like I
mm-hmm.
know because I've been doing this for a long time, and probably anybody who's been even a buyer on TPT for a long time knows that that's an old product, right? So, we're going to kind of scrap that one out. But in general, I can make a sweeping generalization, obviously not to copy anybody, but like, okay, I'm seeing bright colors, seeing bold fonts. I'm not seeing anything scripty or scrolly, right? Like making those sweeping generalizations about how are they staging their resources. Am I noticing that photo images or versus
Mm-hmm.
mock-ups versus just
Exactly.
PNG images of the pages are resonating with buyers? Do I see a solid trend here that tells me when I go to create this product line that maybe I need to tend towards staged photos or mock-ups or what have you, and
Mm-hmm.
getting all of that data in one place is extremely invaluable. Like I think that this is really cool.
Great. I'm glad.
Do you have anything else that you would like to show us? Or I mean, I know we could continue to talk about this forever because there's a lot of different ideas and lots of different tools here.
I mean, those are the main ones. For me, when I'm talking, about SEO, it comes down to the title and the description. That's going to get the eyeballs more than, a picture, because you're going to be on the 10th page with a pretty product image. So it's really those first 3 tools: Keyword Insights, Keyword Explorer, and Keyword Generator. These are great for just helping speed up the process. And if you're not a great writer, how many times have you probably coached somebody where they have like a 2-sentence product description? You're like, no, you probably should do something a little bit more than that. So these are good steps to make sure you're doing all the right things. But if you're really about optimizing, these are the main tools.
This is awesome. Well, Colleen, I can't thank you enough for coming and for showing us and walking us through this incredible product. I'm super excited to test it out for a couple of months and then come back and do a little report of what I've seen inside of those products that I've tested. Overall, I think that this is one of those tools that is just a really neat tool to have. I know whenever I was playing around with it, whenever I first signed up, I was like, oh, this is really cool. And I'm like trying to type things in. I actually showed it to some people in RTA in my membership, and they thought it was really neat. So I'm really excited to dive into this a little bit more and kind of explore some possibilities with this. So thank you so much for taking your time today to share this with us.
No problem. It's my pleasure.